Hey, I'm Andrea, and this video is about Brayan Bello. While his 3.91 ERA is the best of his career, I would not consider this season to be his best season. His 5.68 expected ERA is an indicator of that, as well as his walk rate being up and his strikeout rate being at a career low. 2023 was his first full season and his best in my opinion. His ERA was worse, but he did have a better strikeout rate, walk rate, and better contact quality against. So what's changed between then and now? The first major change is his changeup. In 2023, he used the pitch versus both hands, and it had really good results versus both righties and lefties. Now this season, he's only using it versus lefties, and he's reduced it in favor of his sinker and his sweeper, but the results of the changeup have declined significantly. And that's in part due to the shape and velocity of the pitch now compared to then. Since 2023, he's gained 3 miles per hour on the pitch, so now he throws at 89 miles an hour, but at the expense of the movement. So he's lost 3 inches of depth on the pitch. Looking at this pitch movement chart, we can see that the sinker and the changeup have very similar movement. And while it's okay for the movement of these two pitches to be similar, there also needs to be a wide gap in velocity, which Bello is now lacking. And there's this false narrative out there that a pitcher should just throw as hard as he can, but that cannot be applied in a vacuum. It depends on how the pitch plays off of the other pitches and whether the pitcher can maintain the movement characteristics. And in Bello's case, he lost the above average movement qualities when gaining velocity. Additionally, the sinker is on average 95, but ranges from 93 to 96, and the changeup from 88 to 91. So that's not a big enough gap for two pitchers that have such similar movement qualities. So switching gears a bit, even in 2023 when the changeup was working really well, he was not doing well against lefty batters, and he's still not this season. So let's dive into that a bit. Let's look at his pitch usage to get a better idea of why this is happening. So starting with 2023, he threw a changeup, a sinker, a four-seam against lefties. The first thing that sticks out is that there's no breaking pitch, which is okay as long as you have a way to get outs. And in Bello's case, he was leaning on the changeup as an out pitch. However, if we look at the locations of the pitches, he was pounding the zone with his fastballs and they were getting hit hard. The four-seam has a 603 expected slug and the sinker a 480 expected slug. And he was using the changeup down and away, which is fine, but he was not challenging hitters up or in. So now let's look at this season's mix. In 2024, he started incorporating a sweeper, and that stayed in the mix this season. The sweeper is a breaking pitch, but it's a weird choice in my opinion because it's not a platoon neutral pitch. It does better against the same hand. So looking at the locations, he's trying to use it back foot to lefties, but it's ending up middle frequently, so he's not commanding it that well, and the results are not good. It has a 634 X slug against. He's also still not throwing anything in on lefties. That being said, a few starts ago, he did start incorporating a cutter, which is like a harder and less sweepy version of his sweeper. Here's a clip of it. He did skip last start, but I think that's because there are only 2 lefty hitters in the Angels lineup. So something to watch in his start tonight against Tampa, who's likely to stack lefty hitters against him, is how does he incorporate that cutter, if at all, and does it actually help neutralize his splits? And then for the rest of the season, does he make an attempt, does he try to bring that above average changeup back in terms of the movement? If you like this video, please hit subscribe and follow me on socials at Scout Girl Report. Thanks for watching!